Pushes it up, off the rim. Byrd kicks it at the baseline. Stays with Smith. Layup, good! First win. Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas and welcome to Sports Talk. And this week on Sports Talk, we are going to be featuring a review of the Spartan Basketball Buddies, the elementary kids who have been involved in learning basketball fundamentals over the last couple of weeks, the last several weeks. We'll talk with Dave Retzlaff about that program. We'll also get a little review of the Spartan basketball season to this point. They are now on an extended break until about January 8th when they come back to action at the Fergus Falls Community College. We're also going to meet Elton Byrd, who is our Athlete of the Week this week from Fergus Falls Community College, and we will review all the scores on the high school and college level from the past week and preview the upcoming holiday tournament situation. And there is a lot of tournament action to talk about coming up this week between Christmas and New Year's. Sports Talk is brought to you by Service Food Super Value of Fergus Falls and by First National Bank of Fergus Falls and Elbow Lake. Dave Retzlaff of the Spartans will join us in just a minute. Mills, they defeated Mills by 20 points, and we have that game on videotape, and we'll run that in its entirety on the completion of our program. Right now, we're going to talk about the Spartan Basketball Buddies. The Fergus Falls Community College sponsored a basketball clinic for elementary kids over a period of 4 weeks, 2 in November, 2 in December, and it culminated this past week with performances at halftime of the Wahpeton game Monday night for half of the Buddies, and then Wednesday night against Wilmer for the other half. And Dave Retzlaff, who coordinated this clinic and is the head men's basketball coach and athletic director at Fergus Falls Community College, is our guest this evening on Sports Talk. Nice way to end that basketball clinic. You had a fun time. I know the kids really enjoyed the halftime performances, and they look like they progressed quite a bit, Retz.
Yeah, it really was enjoyable. One of the things that we would have liked to have done as a team and ourselves is to be able to see them perform. We did tape it all, and of course we did show it to our team the following day, but we really enjoyed it. The previous Saturday when we practiced also was a very fun, enjoyable time to see the young people go through their little routines, and they didn't have a lot of practice, but when you have that much enthusiasm, you don't need a lot of practice.
I think on Monday night when they called for the Buddies to come down to the floor, they almost got involved in the actual game. They were storming out of the bleachers, and some of them trickled onto the floor, so they were excited to get going.
They were originally told to go to the corner, but they headed right down for the end line and onto the floor. And then the second night, Wednesday, we had a few more people, and John Greenwald, who was my student assistant and was sort of the manager as such of the Buddy program, looked up and he saw a few of them start to come down Wednesday night, and then he saw a whole sea of them, and he was hoping Stan was not going to announce come down 2 minutes early because he would have had chaos. And we did wait then until the half was completely finished, and we had just a tremendous turnout.
They had a lot of fun, drew a lot of people, of course. The parents came in, and the big thing is they are exposed now to Spartan basketball and to basketball in general, and certainly their interest has been piqued, I think.
Right, I think there's several things that are very positive about the program, not the least of which is the experience that our own ball players get in terms of relating to the young people, and they just did a tremendous job. I was very proud of them. They had enthusiasm, and they played little one-on-one games and just fun things. Certainly we want to expose the young people to our program, some parents to our basketball program, to the young people that we have, to the type of and style of ball that we play. But perhaps the most important thing certainly is that we just like to create some enthusiasm for basketball. And we do go down in this program grades 1 through 6. And I know the local program here, the Saturday basketball is 3rd grade and up. So we try and pick up a couple of more grades and just get some enthusiasm going there. And I think that's the biggest thing we're striving for.
Judging from the response from both the kids, the number of kids that were involved, and the parents, this is something that's going to continue.
Yes, I don't think we would have the courage to drop it right now if we wanted to tell you the truth. It's really fun to see some of the first graders come back, and you can chat with them. Hey, your basketball's pretty worn. You've been working with the ball. Yeah, oh yeah, they've been practicing in their basement, or they've been practicing in the kitchen, or wherever it is. And it's fun to see that type of thing, that they have generated some enthusiasm, and you can almost see that some of them have improved. We don't work with them that much, 4 Saturdays for 45 minutes each, but you can still see some of that progress.
And you have to do that. You have to work on the fundamentals of the game, which is what you were stressing. And I think a lot of times in youth programs, perhaps there's too much emphasis on playing games and not enough on stressing the fundamentals and working. You know, you go to spring training in baseball, you go back to the beginning. You stress the fundamentals there for a couple of weeks and get the basics down again, and that's needed, especially at the young level.
I think that's very true, Craig, and I think it's the type of thing where if we feel we can teach them the fundamentals of basketball in 4 45-minute sessions, I think we're kidding ourselves. I think it's like a basketball camp. If you think you can get there and master your fundamentals, you're kidding yourself. I think the biggest thing that you end up doing is generating some enthusiasm for the game, getting a joy and a feel of it, and you know, having your own little success. I know some of the classes that I have at the college, we talk about placing people in success situations. And a success situation for you is going to be different than what it is for me, depending upon our levels and our abilities. And in a program like this, everyone has a chance to succeed. And we don't keep score, we don't play games. You know, you work on little ball handling skills and that type of thing. It's interesting to note, too, when we had the young people out there, we had them in rows towards the front with first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And it's very interesting on the tape. You can almost see row by row the skill, you know, steps as it goes along in terms of the ball handling and handling the ball. And, you know, down in the first row, the youngest people are just barely able to go figure eight on their legs and this type of thing, whereas the back row, they're whipping it around. And it's very interesting.
Now let's turn away from the Basketball Buddies, which I think you deserve a lot of credit for bringing to Fergus Falls Community College, and let's talk about the Spartans. 5-3 start for the men's team, and you've got 10 freshmen, 3 sophomores back, some good leadership in that sophomore group with Captain Scott Colbeck leading the way for him. What a job he has done. But do you feel like this team is starting to find its identity and coming together with that large number of freshmen? Are they becoming pretty comfortable with the situation at Fergus Falls?
Well, I think in terms of our relationship to each other and molding in as a group and playing as a team and those type of things, I think we are. We're quite pleased, I think, with the way we're playing offensively. Certainly we want to improve in a lot of areas, you know, just some technical things like how we execute certain things, portions of delay game and that type of thing. We have been able to score points, so that's encouraging. So I think we're going to improve there. A concern that I do have is our defensive play, because we are a young club. The league that we have is, it's a tremendous offensive league. The perimeter shooters and the quickness that we see in many of the young people, both those that are in-state and out-state that we face, is just, you know, phenomenal. And it puts tremendous pressure on your defenses, especially when we're trying to play a pressure man-to-man help-type defense, where we force them a certain direction and then try and rely on help from a teammate and shifting and rotating all the way around with all your defensive people. And we have a long ways to go on that, and that's where we need to make the major steps in terms of improvement.
2-0 week for you heading into Christmas. That's nice, but now everybody goes their separate way for 3 weeks, and then you come back and try to put it all back together where you left off. Is that difficult? Is it tough to take a break like this, or does everybody need a little break?
Now, our break is about 12, 13 days, and I think we've found in the past that if you take a 5 or 6 day break, you can just well double that, because what you lose is not really too much of a factor. I think that in the past we have stayed away from Christmas games, that type of thing, because the majority of our ball players obviously come from outside of Fergus Falls, and we feel, number one, it's good to have them home with their families over Christmas and to spend some time, since we've been practicing since the last part of October in the first place. And Christmas is certainly a time when they should be at home and getting involved with the Christmas spirit, those types of things. Secondly, I think the break also does us a lot of good, just in terms of coming back mentally strong and mentally ready to play. So much of what your success is based on becomes intensity and your ability to concentrate and to play hard. And occasionally the coach needs a break once in a while, too.
Yeah, these teams that you're going to be playing all have a good talent level, too, so that intensity, that mental approach is going to be very important game to game, and the games come fast, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. We're 5-3 right now, and we're very pleased to be at 5-3. And we really think that the league, as we are going to see it, is going to provide some tremendous basketball competition. We've had a lot of success in winning our division and been fortunate to do so. This year will probably be as great a challenge as we've had, certainly with a young group. And the competition that is in the northern half of the state of Minnesota that we compete against is just going to be tremendous. Every game that we have in Fergus Falls from here on out is just going to be a dogfight.
January 8th to come back, right?
January 8th. That is a Sunday afternoon game. Excuse me, the only Sunday game that we have. And it's a non-conference game on the 8th. And the following Wednesday, we have Normandale coming in. And following that, we get into our division play and head up to Mesabi. And there are going to be some small wars in those ball games.
Looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun to follow this.
A lot of fun, yes.
Dave, thanks a lot. Congratulations on a good start and a successful Spartan Basketball Buddies program. Really enjoyed that, and I know the kids did too.
It was a joy to see the response of the community and the young people and that type of thing. And we are planning to have it again next year. And we hope to expand it, add another feature that we'll be getting to later, and hopefully expanding to a few more young people, at least as many as we can handle with our basketball Spartan squad.
Enjoy your time off.
Thank you, and you too.
All right, Dave Retzlaff of the Spartan Basketball team, our guest on Sports Talk, and when we come back, we're going to take you through the scores and preview the upcoming holiday tournaments, so don't go away. Lake is Elton Byrd, and Elton plays for Dave Retzlaff's Fergus Falls Community College Spartan Basketball team. He is from Gainesville, Florida. He's in his freshman year, 6'6", and he's fun to watch on the basketball floor. And Elton had an outstanding week this past week with a game against Wahpeton in which he scored 32 points, pulled down 11 boards, hit 14 out of 20 shots from the floor, and then assisted on the game-winning bucket as time ran out. Anything you didn't do in that game, Elton, that you would have liked to have done?
Nothing much. We had a pretty good game overall.
What was the main reason for the difference from the way you played in Wahpeton, where you were just flat as a team and did not shoot the ball well, and then you came into the Spartan gym and were on fire?
It's got a lot to do with the crowd, you know. We got a lot of peers that we go to class with, and everyone that came and supported us a lot. And Wahpeton gym is really dead, you know. It's kind of hard to get anything going there when you have no one pumping you on or anything. We had a couple followers, but not enough to really get things on track.
You're pretty big at 6'6", but Wahpeton is just huge. They can come off the bench with 6'9" people. Is that the biggest team you've had to go up against in your career?
Well, in Florida, I played against a couple 7-footers, but that's over around the height, yeah, because they had like 4 or 5, 6'9", 6'7" guys on the floor at one time. And it was kind of rough, and they're trying to get the boards.
What does that do to a player like you, who obviously likes competition? Does it inspire you to even go a little more all out to be at your best against a team like that?
Oh, yes. I love playing against. I think the more the competition gets tougher, the better we play. Because in like the game we had Wednesday night, the competition wasn't that good, and we just came out kind of like a daisy, just knew we was going to win the game. And, you know, they had just beat us last Thursday, and it made it really pump for us. We really wanted to go out and get that one because we knew that they just tried to run over us and thought they can come there and do the same thing. And we knew that it just couldn't work out that way.
You blew a big lead in that game, too. I think you had them by about 18 points at one time in the first half. Let it get away. They came back, took the lead on you, made it dramatic. And here's Todd Stein at the free throw line with 5 seconds on the clock. He hits the first one to draw you within 1 point. And you had to get ready in case he missed that second one to get the rebound. What were you thinking at that point?
Well, I was just thinking about what the coach told us. He drawed it out on the sideline. He said the first shot, Chris cut through first, and then I cut through. We were on like a crossing pattern. And then the second time he said on the second free throw, let me go first. So I made the first cut, and then Chris made the second one, and the ball just happened to come off on my side. I got the rebound, saw Chris open under the basket. Gave him the pass.
And he laid it in. That's, you know, Chris had a bad shooting night that night, too, and I'm sure it looked like he bobbled the ball just for a brief moment, but he was able to put it in. Obviously, one of the most exciting plays so far this season. Have you been comfortable with the Spartans and the style of ball that Dave Retzlaff coaches?
Yes, I'm very comfortable with it. You know, he mostly lets you do just about anything you want. You know, he's trying to tell everyone, you know, like the big post guys, you know, try to keep it within 10 feet of the basket or 12 feet of shooting range, lead a long range shooting to most of the guards, but you can take one every now and then. He really doesn't get upset about it. He likes for us to hit the boards, you know, push the ball up the court, runs a nice running game. If you just execute the offense the way that he wants us to, get everything done, we'll be winners. We're trying to show that so far.
How about defensively? He likes to stress an aggressive man-to-man type of defense for the most part. Does that fit into your style as well? Do you enjoy that, or do you need to improve on that part of the game?
Oh, very much, because when I was in high school, all we played was zone, and a lot of times I hear him on the sideline yelling, sit down, because I'm just standing straight up. And he said, sit down so I can move faster with my knees bent more. So I think he said that I've improved a lot than when he thought that it was going to be. But overall, I think we got a long ways to go on defense, especially me.
How about the team as a whole? Do you like the mix out there? Does it seem like you guys play well together as a team?
Oh, yeah. I think we have a nice chemistry. A lot of people that are on the bench that think they should be getting more playing time are trying to work into the whole game, because everyone is all stars when they was at their local high schools and everything. And Coach keep telling everyone, you know, we have to be role players now, you know, come off the bench with that same enthusiasm, just come onto the floor. And everyone's starting to settle in and figure out that, you know, the roles that we all have to do as a team. And everyone's just coming along doing it, and the chemistry is just starting to come together.
One final question for you here with the snow on the ground and the freezing rain that we had and the slick roads and the cold temperatures. You're from Florida. How does the atmosphere of Minnesota fit you right now?
Well, the weather is not all that great. I can't say much for that, but with the people around, everyone seems to be real friendly. You know, they talk to you, you know, everyone knows you, you know, speak as you walking down the street from it's like you always been here all your life, you know, people make you feel right at home. I like that feeling, you know, it gives you a warm sense of feeling inside.
Elton, we're going to look forward to watching you play ball, hopefully for 2 years here at Fergus Falls Community College, and hope you have a real happy holiday season, and congratulations on a tremendous week for the Spartans.
All right, thank you.
All right, don't overeat now over the holidays. We want you to come back in shape for the rest of the season, all right?
All right.
Elton Byrd, our athlete of the week from Fergus Falls Community College, had a super week with the wins over Wahpeton and Wilmer, had 32 points against Wap and 26 against Wilmer. Was outstanding on the boards with 11 rebounds against Wap and 8 against Wilmer, and assisted on that game-winning bucket against the Wahpeton Science men's team.